أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا أيها الذين آمنوا أوفوا بالعقود أحلت لكم بهيمة الأنعام إلا ما يتلى عليكم غير محل الصيد وأنتم حرم إن الله يحكم ما يريد. يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تحلوا شعائر الله ولا الشهر الحرام ولا الهدي ولا القلائد ولا آمين البيت الحرام يبتغون فضلا من ربهم ورضوانا وإذا حللتم فاصطادوا ولا يجرمنكم شنآن قوم أن صدوكم عن المسجد الحرام أن تعتدوا وتعاونوا على البر والتقوى ولا تعاونوا على الإثم والعدوان واتقوا الله إن الله شديد العقاب. حرمت عليكم الميتة والدم ولحم الخنزير وما أهل لغير الله به والمنخنقة والموقودة والمتردية والنطيحة وما أكل السبع إلا ما ذكيتم وما ذبح على النصب وأن تستقسموا بالأزلام ذلكم فسق. اليوم يئس الذين كفروا من دينكم فلا تخشوهم واخشون. اليوم أكملت لكم دينكم وأتممت عليكم نعمتي ورضيت لكم الإسلام دينا فمن اضطر في مخمصة غير متجانف لإثم فإن الله غفور رحيم. يسألونك ماذا أحل لهم قل أحل لكم الطيبات وما علمتم من الجوارح مكلبين تعلمونهن مما علمكم الله فكلوا مما أمسكن عليكم واذكروا اسم الله عليه واتقوا الله إن الله سريع الحساب. اليوم أحل لكم الطيبات وطعام الذين أوتوا الكتاب حل لكم وطعامكم حل لهم والمحصنات من المؤمنات والمحصنات من الذين أوتوا الكتاب من قبلكم إذا آتيتموهن أجورهن محصنين غير مسافحين ولا متخذي أخدان ومن يكفر بالإيمان فقد حبط عمله وهو في الآخرة من الخاسرين. يا أيها الذين آمنوا إذا قمتم إلى الصلاة فاغسلوا وجوهكم وأيديكم إلى المرافق وامسحوا برؤوسكم وأرجلكم إلى الكعبين وإن كنتم جنبا فاطهروا وإن كنتم مرضى أو على سفر أو جاء أحد منكم من الغائط أو لامستم النساء فلم تجدوا ماء فتيمموا صعيدا طيبا فامسحوا بوجوهكم وأيديكم منه ما يريد الله ليجعل عليكم من حرج ولكن يريد ليطهركم وليتم نعمته عليكم لعلكم تشكرون.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. نحمده ونصلي ونسلم على رسوله الكريم. أما بعد، السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. During this evening's Qur'an Tafsir, we will reflect on Surah Al-Ma'idah, the 5th chapter of the glorious Qur'an. Surah Al-Ma'idah consists of 120 ayat or verses. There is a consensus among the Mufassirun, among the commentators of the Quran, that Surah Al-Ma'idah contains some of the last and final verses revealed to the Prophet Muhammad. May Allah's everlasting peace and blessings be upon him. In fact, the clear wording of ayah number 3 of Surah Al-Ma'idah supports such a view, where Allah the Sublime proclaims, اليوم أكملت لكم دينكم وأتممت عليكم نعمتي ورضيت لكم الإسلام دينا. The translation is as follows: This day have I perfected for you your religion, and I have completed my favors and blessings upon you, and I have approved for you Islam as your religion. Surah Al-Ma'idah does indeed contain a number of important Islamic legal injunctions or ethical moral precepts relating to rules pertaining to the pilgrimage and to penal laws. However, for my reflections, I have chosen to divide Surah Al-Ma'idah into 6 distinct themes. The first is the importance of fulfilling our promises, our agreements, our pledges, and our covenants. In the opening verse of Surah Al-Ma'idah, Allah the Most High proclaims, يا أيها الذين آمنوا أوفوا بالعقود. O you who have attained to faith, fulfill your agreements and your promises and your pledges. Surah Al-Ma'idah thus begins by exhorting believers to be trustworthy by being scrupulous in fulfilling and living up to their promises and to their pledges. A second theme dealt with in Surah Al-Ma'idah is that of providing believers with clear guidelines on dietary restrictions. Verse 2 prohibits the eating of carrion, of dead meat, of drinking blood, of eating pig's meat and animals over which other than Allah's name was used during the slaughtering process. Moreover, verse number 90 of Surah Al-Ma'idah unequivocally prohibits the consumption of khamr, wine or alcohol. Allah the Sublime proclaims, يا أيها الذين آمنوا إنما الخمر والميسر والأنصاب والأزلام رجس من عمل الشيطان فاجتنبوه لعلكم تفلحون. The third theme that Surah Al-Ma'idah covers is that of personal hygiene, that is purity and cleanliness of the body and soul. Verse number 6 provides instructions with regard to ritual purity and ablutions, which are prerequisites or shurut for performing acts of worship, especially the daily salawat, the ritual prayer. Allah the Sublime proclaims, يا أيها الذين آمنوا إذا قمتم إلى الصلاة فاغسلوا وجوهكم وأيديكم إلى المرافق وامسحوا برؤوسكم وأرجلكم إلى الكعبين. O you who believe, when you stand up or rise up for prayer for the salah, wash your faces and your hands as far as the elbows. Wipe your heads and your feet to the ankles. So verse number 6 makes it obligatory for Muslims to wash their limbs with water, technically known as the wudu, before each of the 5 daily ritual prayers. Contemporary research has shown that personal and environmental hygiene, especially that of hand washing, can reduce the spread of infectious diseases and viruses. The fourth topic that Surah Al-Ma'idah deals with is that it exhorts believers to that of witnessing to justice. The concept of social justice in Islam is exemplified in verse number 8 of Surah Al-Ma'idah. And the verse goes as follows. يا أيها الذين آمنوا كونوا قوامين لله شهداء بالقسط ولا يجرمنكم شنآن قوم على ألا تعدلوا اعدلوا هو أقرب للتقوى واتقوا الله إن الله خبير بما تعملون. O you who believe, stand forth firmly for Allah as witnesses to justice and fair dealing, and let not your enmity or your hatred of any people incite you or provoke you not to act with justice and fairness. Be just and fair, for that is the closest thing to God consciousness. And be mindful of Allah, for Allah is ever aware of everything that you do. The fifth critical topic that Surah Al-Ma'idah deals with is that of the sanctity of life. Surah Al-Ma'idah contains one of the most striking verses pertaining to the sanctity and the preservation of life. The famous and renowned verse number 32 of Surah Al-Ma'idah reads as follows: من قتل نفسا بغير نفس أو فساد في الأرض فكأنما قتل الناس جميعا ومن أحياها فكأنما أحيا الناس جميعا. The translation is as follows: if anyone kills a single soul without just cause, it shall be as if and as though he has killed all of humankind. Whereas if anyone was to save a single life, it shall be as though he has saved all of humankind. Classical Muslim scholars, such as Imam Abu Hamid al-Ghazali, who died in the year 1111, were so inspired by verses such as 32 of Surah Al-Ma'idah that they made the preservation and the sanctity of life one of the supreme objectives of the Sharia, known as Hifdhul Hayat or Hifdhul Nafs. A sixth theme that I would like to highlight is that of the detailed and elaborate set of guidelines with respect to interreligious relations contained in Surah Al-Ma'idah. Muslims are informed about some of the fundamental theological differences between themselves and Christians, such as our rejection of the concept of the divinity of Jesus or that of the belief in the Trinity. We are furthermore exhorted through the recalling of the history of Jews and Christians to learn the lessons of the errors of the communities of faith that have gone before us. But in the end, we are informed that religious differences are not an aberration of the human condition, but an Allah world reality, and that the different communities of faith are encouraged to compete with each other in goodness and in acts of virtue. Verse 48 of Surah Al-Ma'idah beautifully exhorts us as follows: لِكُلٍّ جَعَلْنَا مِنْكُمْ شِرْعَةً وَمِنْهَاجًا وَلَوْ شَاءَ اللَّهُ لَجَعَلَكُمْ أُمَّةً وَاحِدَةً ولكن ليبلوكم فيما آتاكم فاستبقوا الخيرات إلى الله مرجعكم جميعا فينبئكم بما كنتم فيه تختلفون. The translation of verse 48 of Surah Al-Ma'idah is as follows: unto each community have we appointed a different law and a way of life. And if Allah had so willed, He could surely have made you into one single community. But He willed it otherwise, in order to test you by means of what He has given unto you. So compete then with one another in doing good works. And ultimately, unto Allah you all must return. And then Allah will make you truly understand all that on which you differed on this earth. In conclusion, Surah Al-Ma'idah contains an important message about a positive and life-affirming approach towards religion in general and Islam in particular. And this involves particularly avoiding what is known as ghulu, or extremes. Verse 77 of Surah Al-Ma'idah, the Prophet Muhammad, may Allah's everlasting peace and blessings be upon him, is instructed to tell the Ahl al-Kitab, Qul, Ya Muhammad, say to them, O Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Ya Ahl al-Kitab, La taghlu fi dinikum. O people of the book, do not commit excesses or go to extremes in matters pertaining to religion. It is my considered view that verse 101 of Surah Al-Ma'idah provides a poignant example of one of these ghulu, or excesses in matters pertaining to religion. In verse 101, Allah, the Lord of compassion and mercy, proclaims, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu la tas'alu an ashya'a in tubda lakum tasu'kum wa in tas'alu anha hina yunazzalu al-Qur'anu tubda lakum afa Allahu anha wallahu ghafurun halim. The translation is as follows: O you who believe, do not ask of the things which, if they are made known to you, might make things even more difficult for you. For if you should ask about them while the Qur'an is being revealed, they will be made known to you. Allah has been pardoning and has remained silent about them, since Allah is all forgiving, all forbearing. There are some things on which we have been given some crystal clear and detailed divine guidance. Then there are others in which we have been given some broad guidelines and general principles. But most things our religion is silent about, not because Allah has forgotten about them, but because Allah, our Creator, knows us and He has provided His creatures with latitude to express their human creativity. In order to embrace this philosophy, classical Muslim legal scholars have developed a key Islamic usuli, or methodological principle, with regard to the religious classification and ordering of human behavior. And the principle goes as follows: Al-aslu fil ashya al-ibaha, meaning the essence of all things is permissibility. It simply means that permissible actions are limitless and no one needs any proof or evidence to declare something as being permissible. Prohibited acts, on the other hand, are limited and very few. And whoever has the courage to declare something as being prohibited or haram needs to provide clear and unequivocal evidence from the glorious Qur'an. For Allah does not desire to place undue burdens on His creation. May Allah guide and enable us to embrace and to embody this positive and life-affirming message of Surah Al-Ma'idah and the glorious Qur'an. Please join me in a concluding supplication. Rabbi yassir wa la tu'assir. Rabbi tammim bil khair. O Allah, we ask you to make things easy for us, to remove from us difficulties and impediments. and to give us the grace to fulfill our responsibilities with honor and dignity. Allahumma ameen, Allahumma ameen, Allahumma ameen, walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen.